Welcome to KUNT Radio, home of today's best country from Chattanooga to Tahoma. Veterans Day is approaching, and in honor of all those who have served this great country, I'd like to dedicate this next song to them. This is Bo Steele's Humble American Song.
Alarm goes off, 2 a.m., just a shadow on the wall. Kids asleep.
In 2001, I was doing the morning show over at WUSA in Beaumont, Texas. I was playing country music, regular run-of-the-mill stuff.
What kind of run-of-the-mill stuff?
Just working at mills, running mills, just run-of-the-mill stuff. Back then, it was hard for a country artist to actually make money playing country music, so they'd have to get second jobs at mills, and they wrote a lot about their time there.
In early 2000, I was working for Charts magazine, writing about historic record sales, stats, things of that nature. At the time, there was a lot of concern about the effect that digital downloading was having on the record industry. Sales were down across the board. Everyone was hurting, especially country music.
A few years ago, even the biggest country music stars had a hard time drawing a crowd. So in order for us to stay afloat in the business, we had to go out and look for different acts. Now I remember this one time, we had this ventriloquist, and he was god-awful. Word of advice, don't ever audition a ventriloquist over the phone.
That fall day, everything changed. Phones ringing off the hook. People wanted to hear these new patriotic songs, and we were playing them just one after the other, sometimes twice at the same time.
Country music went from having the lowest market share to selling 3 times as many albums as any other genre, literally overnight.
By that afternoon, we had sold out every upcoming show for the next 2 months.
It is no coincidence that on 9/11, the country music industry exploded. No pun intended.
Well, you know, the United States government has always known that music plays a very important role in motivating people and certainly motivating the troops. When you look at the United States and its history, marching bands have always played a major role in the military and in ushering our troops into battle. The Star-Spangled Banner, for example, was commissioned in a secret meeting with Francis Scott Key. And of course, that was caught on canvas, albeit a painting, but I doubt seriously, knowing what we know now, that they would have posed for such an incriminating portrait. But it really wasn't until World War II that the government actually realized that music could be not only used to boost morale, but instead as a propaganda tool, one that could be used to sell your cause and drive public opinion.
In 1963, when Lyndon Johnson took office, he secretly organized the Committee for Patriotic Music. Recently declassified CIA documents reveal that the objective was to manufacture a popular musician and have him play songs that supported America's involvement in Vietnam. Being from Texas, naturally, Johnson wanted the artist to be a country and western star.
So I picked up the phone, called Ho Chi Minh, told him, don't you come around here again, because if I see him or his Viet Cong, I'm gonna kick him square in his Viet Dong.
Well, you know, the Duppy Duvall strategy failed for basically 2 reasons. First of all, the government far underestimated the American people and their willingness to embrace what they considered to be a war of choice. And secondly is the fact that the anti-war music of the day had tremendous popularity and was embraced by the public in such a way that no one could have anticipated its success.
What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam.
Woodstock and the hippies affirmed the committee's belief that music could be used to advance a political agenda, but the anti-war music was so much better that it set country music back 2 decades.
James, honey, would you and your old friends like any cookies?
Mom, I told you I'm busy. Could you go away, please?
Okay, just let me know if you boys need anything.
Anyway, it set them back for the next 2 decades, and they wouldn't experience any significant success until another Texan sat in the Oval Office.
Iraq must withdraw from Kuwait completely, immediately, and without condition.
In 1991, the release of Remy Redbom's America My Bride coincided with the beginning of the Gulf War.
And I go down to your Grand Canyon to sail your shining seas, and I fire my one gun salute upon your liberty, send our cries of freedom, ring loud and true as I fill you with more than pride, 'cause you're the best I've ever had, America, my bride.
He was at the top of every major chart, but his success was short-lived. See, the war only lasted for 5 months. After that, record sales plummeted dramatically, because as my research had shown, patriotic music sales are only at their best during a time of war.
Their problem with Remy Redbom was that they only released that one single. By the time the novelty of the song wore off and the patriotism went with it, public support for the war had eroded, and their ultimate goal of marching into Baghdad had to be abandoned. Bush wouldn't win re-election, and we'd see our first black president take office. Being a sax man and a fan of the greats like Kenny G, Bill Clinton was the farthest thing from a friend to the country music executives. And during the Clinton administration, they saw some of their worst sales years.
Summer 2001, we were at a time of peace, so patriotic music wasn't selling, which is why I thought it was very unusual that 3 patriotic albums were scheduled for release on Tuesday, September 11th.
My station manager came to me in late August, and he handed me 3 new albums and told me that I had to put them in heavy rotation. I asked him why, because there really hadn't been a hit patriotic country song in over a decade, and he said it was some kind of new marketing strategy. So, I played them, but I thought to myself, if they really want these records to sell, it better be a damn good marketing strategy.
This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut. I can hear you!
Look, I can tell you that no one benefited more from 9/11 than the country music industry. Since those attacks, their #1 artist, Bo Steele, he's got 5 million friend requests on MySpace. Bin Laden hadn't even cracked 1 million. That's Bin Laden. Just the mere fact that they thought to make a MySpace page shows what a coordinated marketing attack this was. Look, they're on there, they're sending friend requests, they got event invitations going out, they're putting up pictures from the last tour. It's a brilliant marketing tool.
Bo Steele's songs have words like freedom, liberty, and America in the titles. It's subliminal propaganda. Anyone who has anything negative to say about his music comes off as sounding un-American. So his career took off like a plane being hijacked. Sorry, no pun intended.
So now this guy becomes not only a musical icon, but he's a cultural icon too. So you're seeing him everywhere, from Hollywood films to television commercials.
Hi, I'm country music superstar Bo Steele. We all bleed red, white, and blue, but some of us bleed a little more red than others. That's why for all you little ladies out there, there's new Liberty pads. They give you the freedom to go about your day, because these colors don't run, and neither should your drawers.
Bo Steele's influence enabled the Bush administration to do as it pleased. They don't need to present any justification for going to war in Iraq when they have artists as big as him supporting their policies.
I can remember Secretary Rumsfeld walking around the West Wing humming this gorgeous melody. I'll never forget it. It was like ba 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 da 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 da.
It was beautiful.
Recognize it? That was Bo Steele's Let It Be Me, the song about the Iraq War and 9/11. Thing is, old Donnie's prancing around the White House singing that before any of that happened.
I said, let it be me, standing in the line of glory. Let it be me, who answers when the president calls. To make a stand for our great nation and fight for her liberty, for us to be free. So let it be me.
I had been performing in bars and coffee houses for about 5 years when I was approached by an executive from 12 Gallon Hat Records. He flew me to Nashville to record an album, but when we got into the studio and I saw the songs they wanted me to play, I just couldn't do it. So they dropped me. And a few months later, Bo Steele is on the top of the charts with Let It Be Me, the same song they tried to get me to record.
The interesting thing about country music is you don't have to have any talent to be successful. Aspiring country musicians are a dime a dozen, so labels have their pick of the litter.
Do you regret it?
That's a tough one. On the one hand, I have my dignity and I didn't compromise my principles. On the other hand, I could be making a shit ton of money and not slinging subs for a living. Yeah, I regret it. I didn't refuse to play the songs because of what they were about. I refused to play the songs because I thought they sucked and that no one would want to listen to bad patriotic music. Then, just my luck, terrorists attack the country, Bo Steele becomes a celebrity, and I'm blacklisted. I mean, once you cross these guys, you're done.
I wrote my article about country music's post-9/11 profits in the spring of 2004, but I was fired before it ever even went to print. The magazine didn't want to be associated with anti-American propaganda, even though the piece was only charts and statistics.
See, the government and the country music industry have so much invested in this power they've gained, they'll stop at nothing to protect it. That's why I have to conceal my identity, because if they ever found out that... Sorry, hang on a second. Hello? No, I think you have the wrong number. This is 8692. Yeah, this is Ryan. Ryan White? No, of Arlington, Virginia. Don't worry about it. Happens all the time. Sorry. So, as I was saying, if they ever found out that I... Son of a bitch.
On the second anniversary of the start of the Iraq War, I played an anti-war song about bringing the troops home. And that afternoon, I was told I no longer had a job at WUSA. They claim that it was because I played a song that wasn't on the playlist, but that happens all the time. They just didn't want to admit that it was because I played a song that didn't advance their pro-war agenda.
Country music's influence has grown far greater than the government could have ever expected. It's a symbiotic relationship, each dependent on the support of the other. And with every song that plays on the radio, with every record they sell, and every person that attends a concert, their power continues to grow, with no signs that it will crumble like two tall buildings after being struck by planes. God damn it! No pun intended. I swear I've been using these expressions since long before 9/11.
I'm a humble American, God-fearing man, make a living off the soil in my God's green land. Got a coat on my hip, one in the truck. You step out of line, you shit out of luck. Cowboy's life and the cowboy's death. NASCAR fan to my very last breath. Raise my glass and drink to this great nation. I'm a humble American. I work a Mexican under the table. I work a Jew out from under his nose. And as a blue-eyed, humble American man, I don't care if anybody knows. I work a Frenchman out from his boyfriend's lawn with no breaks, even if I could. I don't get no praise or thank you, though some would say that I should. 'Cause I'm a humble American, God-fearing man, make a living off the soil in my God's green land. Blacks and Mexicans, get out the way, 'cause I'm a proud citizen of the U.S. of A.